We like to say we spent the first 3 weeks of the crisis kind of in a what the heck is happening? What are we going to do with our lives? Like kind of, sad for ourselves and the rest of the world. And then we realized, this isn't going to do us any good. So we need to kind of figure out a way to pivot. And a lot of our restaurant partners and other food makers in Richmond they were still doing farmers markets, they were doing to-go and delivery, and they were still offering their awesome products. And so we thought a really great way, if you can't come on a food tour with us, is for us to bring food and really cool Richmond products straight to you.
Cool.
Welcome everybody to another Zoomcast of Why Richmond is Awesome. My name is Alex Glazer, local real estate agent, co-host Sam Knipe of the Richmond Experience. And today we're going to be talking with Erin and Brian from River City Food Tours. And I'm excited to find out a little bit more about what y'all are doing now. I definitely stalked you a little bit before we started this to see how you've been doing things different since COVID started. But I'll definitely let you guys explain that more than me trying to. But I guess let's start at the beginning in terms of like how River City Food Tours started, what you guys were doing and what you will be doing soon enough, and then kind of jump into what you're doing currently right now during the social distancing and quarantining.
Sure. I'll take that one. We started River City Food Tours in 2015, and we were and will be a walking food tour company. On our tours, we take our guests to 5 or 6 different restaurants, bakeries, cafes, and it's all about showing off and celebrating some of Richmond's great food makers here in Richmond. And so our guests get to try the best dish on the menu at several different places. They get to meet some of the proprietors. They get to learn about the neighborhood that they're touring, and all led by, just a really fun, outgoing tour guide.
So I know for me, anytime I visit a city, like I just not big into history, and anytime you search like what to do in this city, all the results are like historic landmarks, things like that. And me and my wife are immediately like, where's the best like this type of food? So like what you provide is like exactly what me and my wife would want when visiting a city.
And if I can say one more thing, we like to say that a really great food tour is like you have a friend who lives in that neighborhood and says, well, instead of just going to lunch here, let's just go get this particular item at this place, and then let's go get that particular item at that place. And if I see the chef who I know personally, I'll have him come on over and say hello, and then we're going to go get dessert at this really great place over there. So that's kind of how we think about it.
That's such a good way to describe it. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say sounds like a food tour, but better than a one my friend could provide.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, that's how we travel primarily. Whenever we go somewhere new, we like to there's 2 things we do. We find a food tour, because the best way to learn about a place is honestly through its food. And then we like to find the highest viewpoint and go there to see the city. And then from those 2 points, we figure out what we want to do with the rest of our time there.
Yeah, that's good. You eat and get some movement in, which is nice. That's awesome. I've taken a couple of the River City food tours before. They're really fun. Being somebody that I think knows a decent amount about the city, I still feel like I've learned quite a bit. And Alex, to your point, if you're not a huge history buff, it's still a good option because you get to learn a little bit about the history of Richmond and the different neighborhoods. And there's a lot of really interesting facts and quirks about different neighborhoods that you said, I didn't realize that. And that makes sense now that you've said it. Or I always wondered about why this street was named like this. And so they're certainly very knowledgeable, and it's a very fun experience, and obviously very delicious too. So even if you've been to the restaurants that you go to, which I think the last time we did the Arts District food tour, we had been to almost all of them, but we hadn't had some of the menu items. And so it was a whole fresh experience, which was really cool.
Great.
I'm starting to notice maybe if you combine history with something fun, I like it better. Because when I did the Segway tour, I didn't mind all the history of Hollywood Cemetery, and that's like all it was. So you just got to combine it with something fun, like eating.
Yeah, we try to combine, it's a food tour first, and then we just throw in fun facts and history later. Right. If you want a history tour, you take a history tour. So we'll tell you some history about the neighborhood, but we primarily want you to walk away with like a really remembering a cool story about that neighborhood. Not necessarily just something you can kind of read on the internet. We try to find the little hidden secrets if we can.
And y'all normally do like different neighborhoods too. So I remember looking it up and was like wanting to do one before all this started. I'll definitely have to make a point once I'm able to again. But is it 2 or 3 or even more different areas of town you do?
We had 3, a Carytown food tour, a Churchill food tour, and then the Arts District one that Samantha mentioned. And we were actually all ready to launch our Scott's Edition food tour. That was going to happen on like March the 18th or something like that. But then everything shut down on March 14th. So that got put on hold, but we'll be bringing that back as well. So we'll have 4.
Nice. And then now that you can't be doing food tours, if you want to get into what services y'all are providing at the moment.
You take that one.
Sure. So we like to say we spent the first 3 weeks of the crisis kind of in a what the heck is happening? What are we going to do with our lives? Like kind of, sad for ourselves and the rest of the world. And then we realized, this isn't going to do us any good. So we need to kind of figure out a way to pivot. And a lot of our restaurant partners and other food makers in Richmond were still doing farmers markets. They were doing to-go and delivery, and they were still offering their awesome products. And so we thought a really great way, if you can't come on a food tour with us, is for us to bring food and really cool Richmond products straight to you. So we started this Discover Richmond box, which is anywhere from like 7 to 9 different items from, like I said, our restaurant partners, folks that are at farmers markets, folks that we hadn't even met before. We've made a lot of really cool connections now, and we package it all together and we deliver it to your doorstep on Sunday. And every week we're doing a new box with different items so that people can really experience kind of the gamut of what Richmond has to offer. So the first couple of weeks we did shelf-stable goods. So we did, pastas and baking mixes and peanut butters and honeys and stuff. And we're still doing all of that, but we found a way to evolve. We're working at a patch kitchen now, which is really cool. So we rented some freezer and refrigerator space, so we're able to actually offer things like produce. And last week we did frozen empanadas, which were just bonkers good. And this coming week we're doing a brunch box, so we're doing biscuits and frozen sausage and things like that. So we're really excited about kind of what we're offering and then how we're evolving and being able to include even more folks in our boxes. So that's one part. Yeah, so she said it all. The boxes have been really well received, and we've, I think, bought a box for ourselves every week because the items that are in there are just like, wait, biscuits, and I think there's like sage breakfast sausage from Belmont Butchery in this next one, and it all sounds really good. And that's been Erin's project, and then I've been working on self-guided scavenger hunt style tours. So we have one in Church Hill, and we have one in the Museum District. And based on feedback we get, we may add some more later. And these are just really fun ways to get outside while maintaining distance from everyone else around you. It's like going for a walk, but maybe with a little more purpose. And similar to the way our food tours are always about sharing Richmond with our guests, this is kind of along those lines too, where we hope that you learn something new about your neighborhood that you never knew.
Cool. I'll definitely
really
have to check that out.
Yeah. How does that work? Is it through an app, or is it through something through the website, or how would people
so when
access
you buy a ticket for a scavenger hunt, you get instructions on downloading an app and one-time use passcode to get in there. So then you pull up that app and it's got all the different points of interest that you might want to go check out and little games and questions at each one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun.
It's a decent amount of walking too. So I think in the Museum District, it's what?
2 or 3 miles.
Like 2 to 3 miles. So like you can really be outside for a decent amount of time. And especially, the one good thing about the timing of this crisis is that it happened at least during good weather. So people can still get outside. And I mean, that's a very small silver lining, but it's really exciting for people to be able to get out and just kind of see the city a little bit.
It seems like you guys took the 2 biggest components of food tours and really like made them into experiences. And so now you have the Discover Richmond box, which is all food related. And then you have the Scavenger Hunt, which is a lot of the walking and getting acquainted with the neighborhood. And so it's really, really neat to see that you guys were able to like so creatively come up with ways to continue operating River City food tours, even though you can't currently do any food tours.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate
that's
that.
really awesome. Yeah, way to go, guys. That's really creative.
I think was born out of a necessity to do.
Yeah, you're like, how many weeks can I sit in the house without doing anything? Answer
Correct.
sounds like, yeah. That's really cool. The Discover Richmond boxes seem awesome too. I think people sometimes struggle. They're like, oh, I want to get some local products, you know, and if they're not able to catch the farmer's market on a particular day, it can get a little confusing as to where to go to order. And so I like that you know, by offering the Discover Richmond box, they have the ability to sample a bunch of different local food spots and makers. And so I think that's really cool. It's a really neat experience. And I think it makes a great gift. I know we've gotten a lot of people asking about like, hey, I want to send a gift for somebody's birthday. And it's like, this is awesome. This, you know, they can experience a whole wide variety of items. And every week I'm looking at what you guys are offering and I'm like, man, those are such good products. And then the next week I'm like, this is an even better box.
and
Thank you.
we'll bring it all right to you. You never even have to leave your house.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Unless you
Deliver
want
the boxes.
Huh?
You actually deliver the boxes, or is it a pickup, or is it both?
So we're delivering now, but I was going to say we actually this week are offering pickup now. We're working with Can. So we're really excited to be able to offer that because we do have, we offer a pretty wide number of zip codes. So we're out there, but there are some people who have reached out to us and said, you know, our zip code's not in your delivery area. Can we pick it up from you? And so this is the first week we are actually doing a pickup location with like a set time that you can come and pick it up. So we're excited about that too.
And remind us when ordering opens, when it closes, and then the pickup and delivery, I guess, is on Saturday. So when does ordering open for the week?
So ordering opens, well, officially it opens on Sunday, but if you go on there on a Saturday afternoon, you might get to see the box a little early and get to buy it. But it goes through Friday. That Friday at 5 p.m. is when we shut down orders, unless we sell out earlier, because we do have a limited quantity available. And then actually pickup and delivery is on Sunday. So we spend Saturday gathering all the goods from our partners, and then on Sunday morning, we'll deliver to you between 10 and 2 p.m. We send out an email in the morning saying, you know, hey, we're on our way to you, so just, you know, be on the lookout for us. And we always send a picture text. Once we get to your place, we'll drop the bag down. It's all contactless. We drop the bag, take a picture, send it to you, and say, your bag's outside, you know, put this stuff in the freezer, throw this in the fridge, and, you know, enjoy. And then Sunday pickup at Can. I think the timing will be a little later, but since this week we're doing brunch, we're actually going to do an earlier window. So hopefully you can enjoy brunch on Sunday. But the pickup at Can on Sunday will be from 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning.
So if I sign up for a box and I love it, I'm like, I just want to do this every week. Do you have like a subscription model where you just bring it every week automatically? Like I know I'm going to like it.
Not yet, but we have talked about adding something like that soon.
Yeah. But we do have an email, a little bit of a listserv, sorry, words are failing me. We have a listserv that you can sign up for. So every week we'll send you an email with the new lineup for that week. So you can just go straight to the website and buy it if that is of interest to you. But we're not doing subscription yet, although maybe soon.
And I imagine if people want to stay up to date on what's in the box that week, the website or your Instagram would be a good place to follow.
Yeah, all those, and as Erin mentioned, if you're on our website, you can sign up for a specific newsletter just to receive those weekly updates on what we've got for you this week.
Yeah, and it's always up on stories, and we've got, you know, that week's post up on, and you know, the Instagram post, and it's up on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, and I'm not really proficient in any others, but those are the ones that we've got it up on.
How do you guys think things are going to go? I mean, I know it's so hard to tell and everything is so crazy and changing so, you know, quickly these days, but do you foresee yourself doing any food tours this year?
That's a big unknown. I think that, it looks like right now Virginia's headed towards an attempt at reopening in some capacity. For us, we're not sure how our tours will look because capacity will be limited inside at restaurants, and we're very dependent on being able to take up a little bit of space. We've been kicking around some ideas on how we can do outdoors only tours for the time being. And it also is just gonna really depend on the public, right? Are people going to want to take a food tour regardless of whether they're permitted to or not? And so we are just trying to be ready for whatever comes. you can drive yourself crazy planning when there's just so many unknowns. Instead, I think it just makes sense to do what you can today and then put yourself in a position to be flexible later. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're cautiously optimistic.
But hopefully the Discover Richmond Boxes catches on. And that's something that can continue even after COVID. It's like a Stitch Fix, but for food, local food. So I just
I like that. I wonder if we can use that. Stitch Fix for food.
Just spell it differently. The Stitch.
Right. That's kind of the idea. Is we initially thought it would just be a COVID offering, to be perfectly honest, but well, last week went really well. It was Mother's Day, so we're aware that like Mother's Day is a big weekend as well. But if this works out, we hope that it's something that we can continue offering even past this. People who live outside the city, even maybe one day we can do shipping, that kind of thing. So even if you don't live in Richmond, but you really want these Richmond goods because they're so awesome, we can send them to you and kind of keep that going that way.
Yeah, in the interesting times, I like to look for the silver lining and stuff like that. Like you never would have thought of doing this, but it could turn into like another division of your business in the future you never thought of before. And then another thing that I guess silver lining is I normally, got my routine. I live in Richmond all the time, but I don't try nearly half the stuff I could because I'm just so in my routine. But now that I can't do my normal routine, I'm definitely seeking out new and different things to try. So that's one silver lining for me personally is I'm trying a lot of other local places and products that I normally wouldn't have because I would have been stuck in that routine. So I'm definitely going to, as soon as I'm done with this, hop on and sign up for one of these boxes and check it out.
Great, we did
it. We like to pride ourselves on, us personally, we're all about the local scene and we visit all the restaurants and stuff like that. But this has really kind of made us do the same thing. And we stop and evaluate, well, who else can we be supporting that maybe we weren't previously? It really, like you said, the silver lining is now it's kind of like almost expanding what we're interested in and trying to support as well. So.
That's cool. Congratulations, guys. I'm so pumped for you. And I'm glad to hear that the Discover Richmond boxes are going well. And I'm excited to do the scavenger hunt. I think this weekend's going to be a really nice weekend to get out there and do it. And I know we'll be sharing about that in our newsletter to members coming out this week too. So hopefully we see some people going out. Just make sure you guys look up whoever's taking that scavenger hunt. We don't want falling off sidewalks. Yeah.
Almost everybody signed up for the museum district, so I wanted to say don't sleep on the Churchill one. I think that's a really fun couple of hours exploring a neighborhood that I think for a lot of Richmonders is almost a tourist destination in itself.
Yeah.
It was
How
funny.
many neighborhoods have the scavenger hunt at the moment?
Just 2.
Okay.
Yeah, just a museum district in Churchill, but we'll look to maybe expand once we see how these go and people's reactions. But we live in the museum district, so we take walks around here all the time, and we keep going, I wonder if anybody's taking our scavenger hunt right now.
That's funny.
See people looking at their phone.
Well, I don't have any other questions, Sam. Can you think of anything else?
No, I'm just really excited. I really appreciate you guys sitting down and talking with us. And, I think you guys have done a really great job and you've been so creative. And, we'll make sure we link folks to order the Discover Richmond boxes and take the scavenger hunt and keep us posted.
All right.
Thanks. Well, we really appreciate you both. It was nice to meet you, Alex. Yeah. And Samantha, is really good to see you again and glad to hear that you're doing well.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Tell Sean we said hello.
Virtually meeting you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Why Richmond is Awesome podcast is hosted by Sean and Sam Knipe of the Richmond Experience and Lauren and Alex Glazer of the Glazer Group Realtors. It is produced and edited by Miles AG Productions. Our theme song is RVA All Day by No BS Brass Band. Please rate us and leave a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. And follow us at whyrichmondisawesome.com and on Instagram at The Richmond Experience and at Why Richmond is Awesome.